My name is Gilbert Saenz, and we're about to film, or not film, but record another live broadcast radio spiritually reincarnated. This is the week before Valentine's Day, so it's going to be really intense. And then next week, I'm going to lighten up the mood with nothing but love poems next week, and I'm going to be giving away $25 gift card to Starbucks to a listener next week too as well. First time for me, but here's behind the scenes. You know, my little humble studio in front of me is my computer where I control my switchboard for the show. I control the callers, the music, everything is from here. I do it myself. So when I have a technical difficulty or something like that, I have to work my way through it. And tonight's going to be a very intense show. So check out the two poems I got chosen to start off the show with. Very intense poems. It's going to be a really, really good show. Again, I'll tape the first half of it. I don't want to be too distracted with the camera. I'm the only one here. But I got all my poems right here, my switchboard here, my microphone there, and I have backup poems over here. I got like 20 backup poems just in case something goes wrong and I need to start. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Love Talk Radio.
Got my water right here in case my throat gets dry. I turn off my microphone. I usually turn it on like 5 seconds before so it doesn't pick up any background noise. So I'll turn my microphone on in a little bit and I won't be able to talk to you no more. I'm going straight to the show. My opening poem. My two opening poems are right here. Good book, by the way.
Never had it so good. Sports Media Network, along with Spiritually Reincarnated, present to you 1 hour of spoken word live. I'm your host, Gilbert Saenz. Join us every Saturday night from 7 to 8 p.m., taking your internet radio experience to the next level, one poem at a time.
Good evening, everybody. I would like to welcome you for the day before Valentine's Day. Next week, I'm going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate to Starbucks to the best spoken word love poem, to any caller that calls in with the best poem. So feel free to call in. The number is 516-387-1944, and we're going to jump into it this week. This first poem that I would like to share with you is a poem I wrote about a couple months ago. It was a Sunday morning, and I couldn't sleep. I woke up early for some reason. I was dead tired the night before. I woke up early, and something just pulled me and told me to go to church. And usually I try and make church when I can, but I'll be honest. A lot of times I just don't wake up. I have a hard time waking up. And for some reason, I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep, and something was pulling me to church. So I go and I pull in the church. By the time I pull in, Mass has already started and it's kind of late. And all the parking lots, there were no parking lots. Everything was full. Well, I happened to look, and right in front of the chapel, there was one empty parking spot. It's like it was waiting for me. So I pulled in, I listened to the service that day, and as I was coming out, it was funny because I learned that that parking spot was the same spot that a friend of mine took his life in a few years ago. He shot himself and he committed suicide there. And I couldn't, for some reason, his image of him just came over my head, and I couldn't I couldn't, I couldn't get it. I couldn't just shake it, that image. It was just in my head. I tried to go back to sleep, but it would not let me sleep until I wrote this poem. This is an intense poem, and it's called Suicidal Warfare. And I'm not going to mention no names, but I want to this song is dedicated. I wrote it for my friend that took his life. And it's funny because after I wrote it, I was able to go back to sleep. But this poem is part of my new book coming out this year, Spiritually Reincarnated 2. This poem is called Suicidal Warfare. I'm sitting in this parking lot where a friend took his life. He left behind such a beautiful wife. Life is a game of chess. You must learn to progress if you're expected to pass life's test and manifest. Too much stress and duress. Now his soul cannot rest in peace. Now that he is deceased. A permanent solution for a temporary problem. When life throws you bullets, you must learn to dodge them. Don't be afraid of your inner self. Stay focused on your health and not on your wealth. God will provide you with whatever you need. Don't get caught up by your inner greed. You must proceed to your final destination. Learn to love God without hesitation. Stay on your path because pain doesn't last forever. It will pass just like bad weather. Hang your pride and sin on the cross. All is not lost because Christ paid the cost. As I stray, so I pray, yet I continue to struggle every single day. Life is not child's play, where the hunter can easily become the prey. If you're not moving forward, then you're getting pushed back. Your faith will keep you from falling off track as I survive this spiritual attack. I feel such an urge as I continue to write. Life is not simply just black or white. It's a battle you fight from within, like a fish out of water, breathing oxygen. Stop fighting and search deep in your soul. Let go and let God take control. A few years ago, my friend shot himself in the heart because his own life took him apart. You will not last if you keep holding on to your past. In order to progress, you must detach. We create our own problems like an optical illusion, which causes mind pollution that prevents us from seeing the solution. My conclusion is our problems are just a mental delusion, causing us mass confusion. Like a lost sheep, you must search deep. The answer you've been searching for is right under your feet. Yet we overthink, causing our minds to sink into deep depression, causing spiritual regression, leaving a negative impression on your soul's reflection. Today, I can't stop thinking about my friend, but God will forgive us all in the end. That one is called Suicidal Warfare and is part of Spiritually Reincarnated to that place, which will be out next week sometime. Speaking of which, I want to kind of go back and since this is shows kind of like about depression, I want to share my own experience, my own depression that I was going through, and this is from my book called Spiritually Reincarnated. And this poem that I'm about to share, before I used to perform it sometimes in shows, but I don't because this is a very deep poem. It's the most personal poem, and you can read between lines, but it's about suicide. And my life is not there today, and it I'm in a better place now. Ever since I found God, I'm in such a better place. And this poem is part of my book. It's called Spiritually Reincarnated. It's out at any Barnes and Nobles, or it's out in bookstores now. Just Google up Spiritually Reincarnated, and you have access to buy this book. But this poem is called Serenity Lake, and this is the preamble, and then I'll go into the poem right after the preamble. The human body and mind has limited potential. The human spirit has limitless potential, capable of miraculous things beyond our comprehension. Only by tapping into our spiritual consciousness can we take advantage of these natural resources, experience true freedom from ourselves, and release all our emotional baggage. Every one of us has a limited dark side. We also have a limitless good side that goes beyond those boundaries. This is my dark side that has never been seen before. After years of struggling with it, I finally have it under control. When I was younger, there was this place I used to visit alone when times got tough. I call it Serenity Lake, and it has left an imprint in my memory. Lots of struggles within me have occurred there, and this poem is a glimpse of my suffering. This is the most personal poem that I have ever written, and I call it Serenity Lake. There was this lake I used to know. When times were tough, I used to go. As I looked in the lake, my reflection would glow. I was falling apart and didn't want it to show. I remember that time I wanted to fly, 17 years old and wanting to die. I remember those times alone in the dark, covered in tears and pain in my heart. I remember that time tainted with pride. My only way out was suicide. I remember those times I should have died, strong on the surface, but weak inside. Painful memories as they start to decay, submerged in my mind, they won't go away. Serenity Lake, a painful place, located down south on an old Air Force base. Pretty on the outside, so calm and serene. But listen closely, you could hear me scream. Serenity Lake, two worlds I cannot control, where demons lurk to snatch your soul. Life is nothing to me but a big test, waiting to see if I manifest. Alone in my journey, yet tortured by time, a miraculous life, so dark but divine. Hold me in your arms and don't ever let me go. Be there for me when I'm out of control. That one is called Serenity Lake, and it's part of Spiritually Reincarnated that's out in bookstores now. And I would like to welcome everybody this week to Spiritually Reincarnated. This is the week before Valentine's Day. Again, next week I will be giving away a $25 Starbucks gift card to the best love poem or best poem to the person that calls in. Check us out. Check out my Facebook fan page on Facebook. Type in Spiritually Reincarnated or just Google Spiritually Reincarnated. And also, I would like to invite you. Right now, I'm recording live on video of me doing the show right now, and I will post it on YouTube. You can also see past performances of myself on YouTube as well too. We'll be right back after this. Yeah, that was pretty intense. Well, I gotta finish up my show. I got about 8-9 more poems. See if we take calls tonight. So I'm out. Peace.